The O'Reilly Fact is on tonight.
Apparently playing a game of pool is a higher priority for this president than it would be to go and see the humanitarian crisis he's created.
The disastrous situation on the southern border has opened up opportunities for some Republicans who may run for president. Tonight, we'll have the inside story on that.
The one tool they have are articles of impeachment. Let's get going on that.
The Wall Street Journal chiding Sarah Palin for suggesting President Obama be impeached. Bernie Goldberg has some thoughts.
Said I was too young, too soft about communism. And I told them I was ready. And they trusted me.
They still do.
And Killing Kennedy, the movie, has been nominated for Best TV Film by the Emmy Committee. Real good news for us.
Tell me in the morning who wins, Mr. President.
Don't say that.
Caution. You are about to enter the No Spin Zone. The factor begins right now. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Republican presidential hopefuls get a boost from the southern border controversy that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. With President Obama's poll numbers in a free fall and his strategy of disengagement on major issues, some Republican presidential hopefuls are stepping up. The man taking the most advantage of the situation, Texas Governor Rick Perry, who has now become Mr. Obama's primary adversary.
That's the same president that said Al-Qaeda's on the run. And, I don't know whether he's inept or there's something else going on, as I've said before. But the fact is the border's not secure. We have a humanitarian crisis on our hands now because the border is not secure. And the president needs to understand that the single most important thing that he can do is put the National Guard on the border to coordinate with local law enforcement, with our state law enforcement, with the Border Patrol.
Well, Governor Perry clearly looking to run in 2016, and with a good economic story in Texas, he does have a solid foundation. Possible candidate number 2 may surprise you. It is Mitt Romney. Some of his acolytes are whispering that he's considering another presidential run, and the Factor has learned this is not idle talk. Recently, the Romney family held a big gathering on Mackinac Island in northern Michigan. They stayed at the Grand Hotel up there, very nice place, and there was much talk about Governor Romney running again. New York Post columnist Cindy Adams reports Mr. Romney may well do that, and Miss Adams has been right before in political predictions. Talking Points would not be surprised if Mitt Romney steps up. The third possible candidate taking advantage of the southern border situation is Texas Senator Ted Cruz.
Apparently playing a game of pool is a higher priority for this president than it would be to go and see the humanitarian crisis he's created. The president's right in one regard. He's described what's happening on the border as a humanitarian crisis, and it is, but it's a crisis of the president's own creation.
Ms. Cruz, obviously the darling of committed conservatives and certainly looking at a presidential campaign. Some other possible candidates have not been as vocal on the border crisis. Senator Rand Paul, Kentucky, Jeb Bush, to name just 2. So you can expect over the next 6 months to see the Republican candidates become more visible, more vocal, and more critical of President Obama. By early next year, candidates must be out raising money if they want to compete with Hillary Clinton, who's a lock for the Democratic nomination, and therefore will not have to spend a lot of money securing it. The border has given Republicans a big opening, pardon the pun, and there's no question some GOP folks are crossing into presidential competition. That's the memo. Now for the top story tonight, reaction. Joining us from Washington, Ms. Laura Ingraham, conservative and registered Republican. So let's take the top 3 I mentioned today, Laura. Governor Rick Perry, what do you think his chances are?
Well, Rick Perry obviously had that embarrassing stumble during the debate, which is still a punchline in a lot of political circles, but he has amazing fundraising ability, Bill. He was the top fundraiser for the Republican Governors Association recently. He has a lot of star power one-on-one with people. When you meet him one-on-one, you spend time with Perry, He does light up a room. People like him. They come away from a meeting with Perry and they think, gosh, where was that guy in the campaign trail? And I think this current border crisis, he stepped up. He doesn't look like he's being bitter or mean to President Obama. He's just like, look, I need you here. We need to work together. So I think he's definitely done himself some good here. In the way he's handled this, and he's been trying to raise the red flag, as you pointed out a couple of nights ago, for really 2 or 3 years on this border crisis.
There's a big difference now in the governor's TV presentation. I interviewed him when he was a candidate last time around, and as you said, he wasn't sure of himself. Now he's confident. He speaks well. He gets right to the point. There's no bloviating. Here's the problem. Here's what I want to do with it.
Right.
Move the National Guard to the border. And that's the solution temporarily of the problem. So I think that Governor Perry right now has put himself as the front runner, because I think that he would be acceptable to most Republicans, and he has that big economic story to tell as well. So for me, in the O'Reilly...
yeah, I don't know if he's a front runner, but I think he's done well.
Right now.
Yeah. Well, it's a long way off to 2016, but I think he looks more presidential than Barack Obama looks in my mind. Yeah,
Perry's got the new
he
glasses.
has those Rachel Maddow glasses, though. I'm not sure about the glasses.
He's got those black glasses. No, they look intellectual, and that's another part of the makeover.
I'd nix the glasses, but go ahead.
I like those
number
glasses.
Number two. You should wear the glasses then. Number 2.
Romney.
Yeah. Mitt Romney, look, his people had been asking many months ago around in high finance circles, some of the same donors who gave to his campaign last time, taking the temperature. What do you think about another Romney run? I think at the time people said, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, it's like a William Jennings Bryant thing. You can't be serious. Now I'm not sure people are saying the same thing. I mean, I think it's still a long shot for someone like a Romney. Remember, we had a couple million people stayed home. They didn't turn out to vote. I'm not sure what states today, Bill, he'd win, or in 2016 he'd win that he didn't win last time around, especially if it's an Elizabeth Warren or a Hillary Clinton running against him.
I think he would win now, and I can probably Virginia as well. But
yeah,
look, conservative Americans, they don't like Romney. I don't think they're going to like him this time around, but I do believe that he is prepared to do it. And remember, Richard Nixon got thumped, lost to Kennedy, and then he ran again and won.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think Romney said in the end of May, he put out he said a statement, I think maybe it was on Fox, where he said, look, we need immigration reform done before 2016. That's the kind of stuff that's not, I don't think the grassroots wants to hear that. But the establishment would like Romney to some extent, but it's a little bit of old news. But look, anything's possible. He has a lot of great connections, and he still has enormous clout.
I think that Perry would hurt Romney.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
The conservatives probably would go to Perry rather than Romney again.
Yeah.
But Romney's got a machine, and I think he wants to do it. Ted Cruz, what do you think?
Ted Cruz, very interesting. He's been playing nice with the establishment lately, Bill, after last fall and the green eggs and ham and standing up and doing that very dramatic filibuster against the debt ceiling and for the repeal of Obamacare, I should say. And so back then, people are, he's a fringe, doesn't have a shot. I don't know. I think with this border thing, I think throws everything into flux. Do I think Ted Cruz is going to be the nominee? I don't think so. But with Jeb kind of out there, we don't know what Jeb was going to do with Romney and all the question marks about how we're handling immigration. Ted Cruz, might surprise a lot of people. He obviously will get the grassroots excited.
He'll run well in Iowa and New Hampshire.
I don't think, though, Bill, in the end, I think when you go through Iowa and New Hampshire, I don't see he wins New Hampshire, go to South Carolina, maybe get some traction. Then in places like Florida, and then you just go through the list. I think the establishment crushes someone like Ted Cruz.
And, of course, governors could step up as well. But we're talking about, the border crisis giving people some visibility. And there's no question in my mind.
But you can make mistakes, though, Bill, at the border crisis, too. Republicans can make a lot of mistakes in the way they discuss it.
Yeah, but Perry's done pretty well,
I
think Perry has done pretty well so far.
O'Reilly for Perry.
I'm not for anybody, Laura, because as soon as I endorse somebody, as soon as Bill O'Reilly would endorse somebody, the next 3 days they'd be arrested.
Perry's very worried right now after hearing this tonight. No. He's concerned.
Never endorse, never tell anybody who I vote for. Laura Ingraham, everybody. Next on the Rundown, did President Obama make the worst mistake of his administration by not visiting the border while he's in Texas? We'll debate it. And later, Bernie Goldberg on Sarah Palin calling for the impeachment of the president. Doctor's coming right back.